the difference between preaching and teaching? That's a great question to ask, because many times in life, we're all in a certain phase of our lives where we're building leaders, right? And maybe you're in business, you have a sales organization, you're building leaders in your sales organization. Maybe a VP, a CEO, you're building your leaders you have in your company. You may be running a church, your elders you're dealing with, you're building leaders. You're a parent, you have 2, 3, 4 kids, you're building them into leaders. You're a coach, you're building your players into leaders. So the skill on building leaders into leaders has a lot to do with teaching. So what is the difference between preaching and teaching? And have you ever had a conversation with somebody where maybe a coach, mentor, a supervisor, somebody to you kept talking to you, and you felt like you were being preached at, and after about 20, 30 minutes, it was as if you were no longer present there. Your mind was thinking about a movie, you're right? In your mind, you're thinking about your kids, right? What time you get off work and what time this person is gonna stop talking so you can move on and do what you're doing. Have you ever been there before? By the way, almost all of us have been on both sides where we've either preached at somebody or we've been preached at. Neither feels good. Somebody's not happy about it. So what's the difference between preaching and teaching? And this has nothing to do with being a preacher or a pastor. It's just when you preach at somebody or teach somebody. Well, what a preacher does is, preacher makes a lot of statements and tells you what they used to do, what they did. A teacher asks a lot of questions and asks you to show them how you did it. If it's sales, show me your presentation. If it's a CEO and you're talking to your COO, how did you handle that confrontation with the employee? Show me how you handled it, right? You ask the question instead of jumping to conclusion. And once the teacher asks the question and makes the request to show them how you did it, then the teacher says, these are my suggestions, and this is what I want to encourage you and challenge you to do to improve. So today's message, sometimes in our lives we tend to preach over teaching. I think it's a good reminder to do an assessment of ourselves. Are we more in the preaching phase of our lives or teaching phase of our lives right now?